This is another step towards internet equality in Los Angeles. And I'm so grateful for all the hard work and commitment of the partners you see here alongside me. First, I know he's on his way and he's going to be perfect timing. Councilmember Curran Price and his team. Doug Guthrie, who's the president and CEO of HACLA, and his entire gifted staff. Chet Kanagia, who is the leader of the Starry Internet team. You can see it there. You can see the Starry logo. And there is, where's our astronaut? Did he go inside? Maybe did he float off into space? There he is, right there. You know, you can join us up here too, even if you're not speaking. And Microsoft, who has been such an amazing partner for so long with us on so many things for over 20 years. And my team from the office of the Mayor's Office of Budget and Innovation, our Deputy Mayor, Jean Holm and Don Comer, want to thank you as well. Brenda Shockley, our Deputy Mayor of Economic Opportunity, and her team as well. And then, most of all, I want to thank the members of the Avalon Gardens Resident Advisory Council and our digital ambassadors, who you're going to hear from in just a moment. It's pretty simple. Access to the internet is a human right. Don't take my word for it. The United Nations adopted this a few years ago. Just like we need a right to housing, we need a right to electricity, a right to food, a right to basic human needs. The internet is one of those, because the information we need to survive, the access we need for economic opportunity, the education links for our children to learn, all flow through the pipes in the internet. But when we saw a public health crisis that was unprecedented 2 years ago with COVID, when COVID first hit our city, we saw just how unequal internet access was still in Los Angeles. We saw our lives move online. Our children were no longer in the classroom, but instead staring at a screen. We had critical life-saving information about where to get tested, eventually how we could get vaccines, and so much more that came through our devices. And so it was clear to me that at the beginning, while we were going out there to get the tests and to get the vaccines and to protect people, we also need to protect them by bridging the digital divide. And that's what the partnership of HACLA and Starry Internet is doing with the installation of high-speed internet at public housing developments across our great city. Avalon Gardens isn't the first, it's actually the 9th of our HACLA communities to be able to enjoy this access with Starry. And that means we've made high-speed internet available to 11,500 households, which is incredible, because that means that there are young people here who are going to connect with an internship or a job. That means that there are parents who can look and maybe get an even better paying job than what they have. That can be life-saving information, better connections at school so our kids don't fall behind. And here's how it works. It's really easy. Folks can sign up for 6 months of free service, and they don't have to worry about a credit check. They don't have to worry about a big application process or getting roped into some sort of long-term contract. And those 6 months that they get free from Starry, they can then stay connected after the 6 months at no cost, thanks to our federal government and the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Plan, which we link you up with, so you never pay at all. Of course, internet access is just one piece of the puzzle, and we know that access is the first step, but so is equipment and knowledge. It's critical that people, especially older folks who might be less familiar with technology, although I know a lot of digital seniors who are farther advanced than some of their younger peers, but that they take full advantage of the world that connectivity opens up. And that's where HACLA's digital ambassadors come in. This was a vision that we had in the administration to see those young people who are so tech savvy, what could they do to help a generation? Just as older Angelenos teach our younger Angelenos the life skills that they have, vice versa, young Angelenos can give something back to our older Angelenos by making sure that they are internet savvy. Everything from telehealth to educational resources, it's a win-win because it means jobs, a growing resume, real-world work experience. They're gaining valuable job skills and experience to the young folks who are digital ambassadors. And then, of course, the people that they're helping to educate get also the benefits of their connectivity. And I'm so proud of what this partnership we're celebrating today has made possible. I'm so hopeful about the future because Los Angeles has more tech jobs than Silicon Valley. Los Angeles is the tech capital of America. And we've shown that. We've won the #1 digital city many of the years that I've been mayor. We've been #1 with sharing the information that we have from departments to empower communities. And we saw that during the pandemic. All the information I got about COVID-19, we released each night on our data deck so that Angelenos were just as empowered as their mayor to know what was going on and to make the right decisions. And my justice budget for this fiscal year puts $17 million into bridging the digital divide, bringing broadband to low-income communities, upgrading computer labs at our rec centers and our parks and public housing sites, and expanding programs like Tech2Go. How many people know about Tech2Go? See? There's one right there. Are you from the library? Or you're just smart? Yeah, exactly. You got the partnership. Well, everybody should know and spread the word about Tech2Go, which allows you to check out hotspots from your local library. Check out laptops and tablets and equipment that you can take home. So there's no excuse not to be connected, whether it's through the libraries, through our public housing, whether it's through our rec centers. We have refurbished computers through Cycle LA. We can give you a computer that is upgraded, essentially brand new, and yours to keep. And we're creating as many as 300 public Wi-Fi areas. Those are broad Wi-Fi areas in underserved communities through the Bureau of Street Lighting. You never thought a street light could connect you to the internet, but now that street light's becoming like a Swiss Army knife. It's helping us not only keep communities safer, but it's helping us connect people. Some of them are even charging electric cars at the same time. And the Bureau of Street Lighting's Wi-Fi hotspot pilot is funded through Community Development Block Grant. And this year's budget also includes funding for digital literacy work that's from community-based organizations and our new Angeleno Corps, which is almost like our AmeriCorps for Los Angeles. Together with the state, we're paying young people to help connect their communities, work on things like racial justice, climate change, public health, and much more. Everybody deserves the internet. It is your chance to grow, to learn, and to thrive. And so thank you to all of our partners that are here. I'll say a few words in Spanish, and then I'll get to our great partners for some words as well. Muy buenos días a todos y gracias por venir. Estamos aquí para lanzar servicio de internet gratuito para residentes de Avalon Gardens. HACLA y Starry Internet están instalando internet de alta velocidad a las comunidades de vivienda pública por toda la ciudad. Avalon Gardens es la 9ª zona de vivienda pública en obtener servicios en Internet Starry. Mi presupuesto fiscal de justicia en este año incluye $17 millones para traer Internet a comunidades de bajos recursos, mejorar los laboratorios de computadores en viviendas públicas y más. Y hay programas en nuestras bibliotecas, en nuestros parques, hay computadores gratuitos también, y hay muchos programas para traer la justicia y el Internet a su familia. En Los Ángeles estamos cerrando la brecha digital porque todos merecen oportunidades de crecimiento, preparación y éxito. And with that, I told you his timing would be perfect. Here is the council member who has been a wonderful partner, whether it was in testing, whether it was in vaccines. He has done everything to make sure that economic justice and social and racial justice are at the center of everything we do. Please welcome your council member and the council member of Avalon Gardens, Curran Price.
I'm so proud to be in a community that has such a positive, progressive mayor like our mayor, Garcetti, right? Let's give it up. He's always on the cutting edge, always making sure that that our city is a leading edge and that we are collaborating and cooperating with the partners that can really make a difference. And so, Mayor, again, thank you for your leadership. Also a pleasure to be joined by Starry co-founder Chet Kajoka. Chet, it's always a pleasure to see you and really appreciate your groundbreaking services that you're being offered. Of course, no stranger to Avalon Gardens, HACLA President Douglas Guthrie, and Microsoft VP Teresa Hudson, and other special guests. So we got the whole gang is here today for a very, very important reason. As we know, over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, a large number of inequities have been exposed in both our country and right here in Los Angeles, and right here in CD9. One equity that became clear rather quickly was that the digital divide, especially amongst black and brown Angelenos, in comparison to their white counterparts. As companies and schools transitioned online and work was done remotely, across the internet the use of the internet went from being a luxury to a necessity. And within my district, we attempted to close that divide by partnering with many city departments, distributing Chromebooks and Wi-Fi hotspots, and they had some real impact. Additionally, as a member of the Budget Committee, I led the effort in getting $10 million allocated for broadband services here in my district and across the city. A small step, but an important step that we think helped lay the groundwork for our announcement today. Using these funds, city departments are currently exploring a pilot program to provide low to no cost high-speed internet to numerous residents by using local schools and the LAUSD as hotspots. That's an interesting concept, huh? Using the schools. With the launch today, I want to recognize Starry Internet and Microsoft for their tremendous efforts over the pandemic. They have really worked hard. Their partnership helps supplement what we as a city are doing and ensuring that all Angelenos, and I mean all Angelenos, have access to the internet. They've helped provide free and no cost internet to nearly 12,000 HACLA residents alone to date. The partnership between Starry and Microsoft has allowed students to continue to stay safe and current in their education. They've also allowed individuals to stay current and engage with events in the community and going on around the world. Again, the internet is a utility that we all have to take advantage of. So I'm excited that Starry services are going to be right here to Avalon Gardens. Anyone that wants to plug in and plug up is going to be able to. Residents will be able to stay connected right here in the comfort of their own homes and out here in our open space. Providing high-speed internet here builds on the work that my office, along with the mayor, has done in promoting digital literacy over the years. And I hope that we see the positive impact of broadband in Avalon Gardens so we can continue to expand low to no cost internet services right here in my district and throughout the city. Again, this is an exciting day. It's an exciting opportunity, not only for our kids, but for our adults to make sure that we are doing all we can to move into this new digital world and have access to the same kinds of programs, processes, and services that are benefiting Angelenos all over our city. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part, and thank you for being here in CD9.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Council Member. Appreciate you always. And thank you for many of the tech initiatives we've done here in South Los Angeles with you and your colleagues to really bring those headquarters, to bring those opportunities, to bring that training, and to bring those jobs right here. Next up, I mentioned Doug Guthrie. As I go around the city, I keep saying this may be the last time I do a press conference with X. And it may be the last time, Doug, we get to do this together, because it depends on the timing of the Senate, which nobody can predict. But I just want to say briefly that Doug Guthrie has been one of the finest appointed officials I've served with in my career. Whatever the challenge has been, I need more vouchers so that we can get more unhoused people housed. He stepped up. We need to purchase buildings so that we can have permanent housing for people who are on the verge of homelessness or homeless. He stepped up. We need property so that we can build shelters, pop them up, and go. He's been there. Whether it was during COVID and thinking about how we save lives of some of our most vulnerable people, this is an extraordinary leader who leads an extraordinary team, and it has been one of the great joys of my time as your mayor to serve alongside him. Please welcome the President and CEO of HACLA, Doug Guthrie.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you especially for those very kind words, and I hope this isn't the last event we have an opportunity to do together. And this really is an exciting day for residents here at Avalon Garden. Those of us that have been trying to work on broadband now for a number of years, we've had a lot of stops and starts, and we've had some marginal successes, but we really have not been able to have a sustainable accessible broadband capacity until such time as we became partners through the mayor's office with Don Comer, with Deputy Mayor Brenda Shockley, Deputy Mayor Holmes, and others to connect us with Starry. And Starry has just been fantastic. And Starry and her partner Microsoft continues to be fantastic. So we couldn't be more excited about this. And I think, as everybody has said, broadband internet is no longer a luxury. We may have said that 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, do you have broadband? And a few people would say yes, but people living in these communities just didn't have access to it. Even if they could afford it, which many of them can't, they didn't have access to it. Well, it's no longer a luxury. Now it's a necessity of our everyday lives, and I think that's really shown through, especially during the last 2 years of this pandemic, where the schools have been closed and classes are online virtually. Students don't have any chance to be successful if they don't have access to educational programs, and broadband is key to all of that. And the same now with health access, employment access. So those folks that are now working from home, part-time or full-time. So today's launch is indicative of all the things that have gone right on that. And so families now have access to high speed, low cost to no cost, and with a very high quality service as well. And I'm sure you're going to hear from Starry as to, as was said, this is, I believe, the 9th site that we now have gone live with, and the uptake of people that are utilizing this service actually exceeds our initial goals for this program, and we think that that's really going to continue. I wanted to especially thank Mayor Garcetti, his leadership on this. He's really empowered folks within his office. This isn't an easy field to work in because there are a lot of different internet providers out there. They all have different ways of doing this, but he's relentlessly pulled everyone together to really make this happen. And so it's through his leadership that we're able to do this. And also with Councilman Curran Price, who is relentless in bringing services to his district. We meet on a regular basis on a number of topics, and I know how important this is to him as well. And I know one person who's not here today who would love to be here, and that's Congresswoman Maxine Waters. This is her district. This is her site. Half the people that live here know her and love her, and she loves this site. And she's out here multiple times. But we have to really thank her immense advocacy for the families that we all serve, and her advocacy to close the digital divide at the federal level. And as many of you know, the federal infrastructure bill was one thing that did get through Congress and was signed by the president. And we know that there are resources within that bill that are going to greatly expand these opportunities in our communities. To our resident advisory council at Avalon Gardens, the digital ambassadors that I kind of think of as HACLA's Geek Squad. I mean, they're always there to answer questions. Working with technology is not always easy, even for those of us that work with it all the time. And so we're very fortunate to have that sort of program. HACLA's taking this initiative really seriously. We've come up with $850,000 of our own funds. Microsoft and Starry are working together in a partnership to bring additional resources to refurbish computer labs that we have at all of our sites. And the city has also been contributing resources towards the computer labs in collaboration with the city. So thank you to everyone who's here and who stepped up to prioritize bridging the digital divide. And we greatly look forward to building on this momentum. We think we're just beginning. We're just beginning this process, and the future lies ahead of us, but we can't do that without getting started, and we want to thank especially Starry and Microsoft for a great start on that. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Doug. We appreciate you deeply. Got to find my page numbers here. Excuse me one sec. There we go. Next, I'm going to ask the co-founder and CEO of Starry Internet, which you see all around you, Chet Kanagia, to come forward. We're so grateful for this partnership, and while this is our 9th site, I would say this happiness that you feel here today could be expanded tenfold, because I know we've got San Pedro coming up next, and it's really been an amazing model. You've been a successful businessman, I know, in other areas, but it shows a lot about your heart that you decided to put your effort and your vision into making sure we didn't just make sure that those who are already connected are connected even faster, but those who are not connected at all get connected just as fast. And that speaks volumes. So Chet, come on forward. Please give a warm welcome to Chet Kanagia.
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. And before I speak a few words, quick question for the councilman. How do we get some of that $10 million? But I'm sure my team will be figuring that out. Thank you. Really excited to be here. And you know, this is kind of why we started the company. And we as collective people, our company team, you know, we only do things that are good and make money. And so we're not a nonprofit, but we really focus on building businesses that are going to move society forward and create opportunity. And I'm an immigrant, and as a result, I really have a firsthand exposure and experience with how life-altering access to technology education can be from just a pure personal gain perspective. And that's really why I'm such a big believer, investor in all of our entities and everything around this topic, which is, I think, ultimately it is very important for these technologies to be in people's hands, changing their lives, enabling education. I mean, this pandemic has robbed, I think, you know, if I'm not overstating, children's future in terms of 2 to 3 to 4 years of educational competency, socialization. All of these are really critical, important things, and the world's not getting any simpler. It's just getting more and more complicated. So this is the first thing that we're doing to move the ball forward. And you know, this is a deep commitment inside of Starry, is to make sure that we are serving any and all communities that come within our purview, irrespective of income, irrespective of any other kinds of characteristics or makeups, which is why we do very important things like no credit checks. That's a really important thing, because again, as a immigrant, when I first came to the country, nobody has credit. You're a good person, you're a hardworking person, you're a well-meaning person, but not having credit can be a huge disqualifier in terms of participation in the economic opportunity. So there are fundamental things that we believe, we embrace, and we continue to do to move the ball forward. And just a few sort of stats, and I think as the mayor and others have referenced, you know, this is the 9th site and hopefully a lot more, but I just want to share some data with you on 2 dimensions. Across the board, once we've been in a location for a few months, you know, we're running somewhere between half of the community to 3/4 of the community signing up for the internet connection, which is amazing, and just shows you that the need is real. On top of that, I'll share some data with you. Our typical customer on a broadband connection will consume somewhere around 400, 450 gigabytes a month, which is not really possible on a mobile connection. And irrespective of where the location is, including public housing, that data remains steady. And in fact, the consumption's higher. That just shows you the importance of that access. I almost equate the internet to be essentially a public library that's available in your home. That it has educational ramifications, it has healthcare ramifications, it has you know, opportunity for economic impact. All of these things come together, and that's really the heart of Starry for us, is do good things that create value and you know, hopefully create a good business out of that as well. So with that, I just want to thank my team as a start, who does incredible work with the same heart and motivation. Our partnership with HACLA, which has been extremely important. The support of the deputy mayors in moving the ball forward has been incredibly important. A partnership with Microsoft, which is really, really important. And the reason is we can only do so much. We can bring the connection, but ultimately the devices that use that connection need to be brought into these communities as well in affordable rates and refreshed. The technology is not something you do once and move away. It requires constant investment, constant focus. So a partnership with Microsoft that enables that is super, super critical and important to us. So thank you to Microsoft as well. And I love this. I had no idea about the Digital Ambassador program, but I think that makes a ton of sense, because nobody teaches communities like communities, which is why, you know, we think that's fantastic, and which is another reason we recruit from these communities as well, because it makes a ton of sense. People teach people that they know and love, and buy from people that know and love, and work with people that know and love. So thank you. Really excited to be here. Hopefully a lot more to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you, Chet. Just had an idea that, Starry can do its future hires from the digital ambassadors. We'll create a pipeline that'll get them trained and then hired up. Next, our speaker is the Microsoft Vice President, Teresa Hudson, who is really representing a company that for 20 years I've worked closely with to bridge digital divide, to bring equipment, training, and it's really been an extraordinary partner. I traveled up to Microsoft headquarters a couple months ago to meet with their CEO and to really look at the vision of what this company is doing. And we could not do this in 5 of the 9 communities with Starry without Microsoft's funding, including here in Avalon Gardens. It's about technical support, but it's also about equipment, and I'm very excited today to ask Teresa to come forward. Teresa?
Well, you'll have to excuse me. My Seattle eyes are a little bit overwhelmed by all the sunshine. It's pretty nice here. This is just so amazing to be with so many people who think the way we think about opportunity. And so what a privilege to be among you. I'm also going to start recruiting from the Tech Ambassador program, so that's quite a great idea as well. So thank you to the mayor, thank you, Councilman, for hosting us, and thank you to the community as well. So as the mayor said, I lead Microsoft's Tech and Corporate Responsibility team, which includes our Airband initiative. And our Airband initiative focuses on advancing digital equity through access to affordable broadband, access to affordable devices, and through digital skilling. We see these things as altogether necessary to empower people across the planet. As other people have said, the pandemic laid bare the gaps in our system. And it not only did it lay bare the gaps, but it exacerbated them. People couldn't work at home, people couldn't access health care, and kids couldn't go to school once school moved online. That's a tragedy. And of course, this disproportionately impacts people who are housing and income insecure, racial and ethnic minorities, women and girls, senior citizens, and other traditionally marginalized groups. That's why when we expanded our Airband initiative to cities, we focused on 8 cities with that face some of the largest broadband gaps, particularly for racial and ethnic minorities, and that includes here in Los Angeles. But we're so proud to partner with Starry and HACLA to support this effort to bring affordable, high-speed, high-quality internet service to Avalon Gardens. Today's launch means that residents will be able to access broadband, but more importantly, they'll gain the ability to participate in the digital economy, which will unlock opportunity. But we're not stopping at broadband because we can't. We're also working to bring opportunities for free and low-cost devices and digital skills training to ensure that people have all the things they need to achieve their aspirations and benefit from internet connectivity. That means you can do your job from home, you can study, you can connect with loved ones, maybe you want to start a business or find a well-paying job. We're also excited to announce that we're partnering with Starry and HACLA to build computer labs in Avalon Gardens, as well as 2 other communities. This is the time to fix the digital equity gap in this community, and today's announcement is a key step for how we can do it together. Public-private partnerships like this one lay the foundation and build bridges to brighter futures, one where all Los Angeles residents can have an opportunity to achieve their full potential. This is just the beginning. Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thanks so much, Teresa. Now the 2 most important speakers, with all due respect to the rest of us, a resident here from Avalon Gardens and one of our digital ambassadors. First is Patricia Hernandez, who is Resident Advisory Council President. That means she's the mayor of Avalon Gardens, essentially. So, Madam Mayor, thank you for having me. Señora Alcaldesa. She has been a resident of Avalon Gardens since 2011. She served on the Resident Advisory Council for 6 years, and most recently as president. So we are so pleased she is here. Bienvenidos, por favor. Patricia.
Soy muy pequeña. Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Patricia Hernández y soy residente de Avalon Gardens y presidente del RAC. Gracias a HACLA por el lanzamiento de los servicios de Starry Internet en Avalon Gardens. ¿Ya? Okay.
Good morning. My name is Patricia Hernandez, and I am
Acá.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Patricia Hernandez, and I'm an Avalon resident and RAC president. And thanks to HACLA for the launching of Starry Internet service at Avalon Gardens.
Nuestra comunidad está agradecida con la Autoridad de Vivienda de Los Ángeles, que ha estado ayudando a cerrar nuestra brecha digital para las familias que carecen de acceso a banda ancha, dispositivos y alfabetización digital.
Our community is grateful that the Housing Authority of Los Angeles has been helping to close the digital divide for families who lack access to broadband devices and digital literacy.
También queremos agradecer a la ciudad de Los Ángeles por garantizar que las familias en viviendas públicas tengan acceso a esta banda ancha, dispositivos y alfabetización digital.
We also want to thank the City of Los Angeles to ensure families in public housing have access to broadband devices and digital literacy.
Desde el inicio de la pandemia COVID-19, HACLA ha utilizado la plataforma Connect Home para promover los servicios de telesalud para las familias que puedan conectarse a los recursos de alfabetización digital y de salud que tanto necesitan.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, HACLA has used the Connect Home platform to promote telehealth services so that families could come to much needed health and digital literacy resources.
El programa de embajadores digitales nos ha ayudado a abordar la brecha digital que existe entre las comunidades de HACLA y nos ha brindado las herramientas para marcar la diferencia y ayudar a nuestra comunidad a utilizar la tecnología.
The Digital Ambassador Program has helped us address the digital divide that exists in HACLA communities and has given us the tools to make a difference and help our community use technology.
Estamos orgullosos de nuestro impacto colectivo en la comunidad y agradecemos a las asociaciones como HACLA, que es la ciudad de Los Ángeles, a la oficina del alcalde, Starry Internet, Microsoft, también al señor Doug Guthrie, presidente y director ejecutivo de HACLA, y al alcalde Garcetti. Gracias a la congresista Maxine Waters, al concejal Curren Price, aquí presente, entre otros que nos están ayudando hoy aquí a brindar acceso de Internet y dispositivos digitales a nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
We are proud of our collective community impact and thank the many partners at HACLA, the mayor's office, Starry Internet, Microsoft, and individuals, Doug Guthrie, HACLA President and CEO, Major Garcetti, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Councilman Curren Price, among others that are helping us here today to promote Internet access and digital devices to our community.
Thank you, Madam President. We appreciate you very much. And finally, our next speaker is Ana Sache, who is a student at Santa Monica College. That's S-A-J-C-H-E and A-N-A for those on the media who need to spell the name. She's one of our incredible digital ambassadors. We're so proud of her. She is not only the future, but she is the present and a leader who I know is going to continue to bring access and to change our city. Please welcome Ana.
So hello everyone, my name is Ana and I am a student attending Santa Monica College as of now. So I am a digital ambassador, and digital ambassadors are residents like me who live, residents like me who want to make a difference in our community by addressing the digital divide and helping my family and neighbors learn how to access critical online resources. So in the program, there are these digital literacy trainings where it has made me more aware of digital connectivity, resources, technology devices, and it has made me more aware of the importance of having digital literacy skills to use different online platforms like education, medical access, and other benefits as well. As a digital ambassador, I have helped by doing outreach in my community. We help promote Starry. We have done outreach about telehealth, the importance of getting vaccinated, and we have sent out flyers to promote many other events as well. So I do want to thank HACLA and HACLA for partnering with Starry for launching the low-cost internet service at Avalon Gardens and many other housing sites like mine. Our community is very grateful that the City of Los Angeles and HACLA has been working to help our families in public housings have access to broadband devices and digital literacy. So the digital ambassadors has helped with us with the digital inclusion process and has given us the tools to make a difference and help our community better use technology. So thank you to HACLA, the mayor's office, Starry Internet, Microsoft, and everyone today here that cares about our community. Thank you.
You're amazing. Good job. I bet that was your first press conference. You did great. You knocked it out of the park. And I think you're going to be doing what Chet is doing one day. You're going to be a boss, maybe running your own company. So thank you as well. I think that is our final speaker. So are there any questions before we give out some devices and talk a little bit more with some of the residents? I want to thank LAPD who is here. Thank you for keeping our community safe and all the work that you do here. Appreciate you and your presence always here. Anybody with questions? Yes, sir.
It explains that it's free and affordable. Could you explain that process?
Sure,
What
absolutely.
is free and what is affordable?
So right now there is a program that allows this just to be free. Let's be clear. 6 months is free. That's on the top. That's part of Starry's offer. But then what would normally be, how much a month? Typically 50. It would typically be 50 is now there's a program with the federal government that will be able to pay for that. We also have other dollars that are coming in from the state, and we believe we can keep that essentially free, or even a $30 discount, which would make it $20 for something that people pay $100 or more dollars a month for. So that it's going to be either low cost or in many cases no cost whatsoever for families. So we help you get that program, get those federal dollars. That helps pay Starry, and then that's something you don't have to have on your own bill. Absolutely. Starry takes care of the entire opt-in process. And as was said, for a lot of people who are worried because they don't have credit or their immigration status or whatever it is, none of that should be a barrier. We want every Angelino to get high-speed internet at a low or no cost. Por la ciudad de Los Ángeles tenemos una inversión de 18 millones de dólares en este presupuesto, pero es gratis. Es gratis por los residentes, gracias a la compañía de Starry Internet, y también un programa federal que pueden dar un subsidio a las familias aquí y otras familias que no tienen los recursos. Es un bajo costo o no costo. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Congratulations.